Let's get it.
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet. The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes. It's Dane Calloway on I'm Just Here to Make You Think Radio.
So, Dane Calloway, I want to ask you, Dane, you talked about the reverse of us, of Africans. I would like to hear more about that. You said that we didn't come over here on slave ships, but it was indeed the reverse of it. You know?
Okay.
Meaning
what was the question?
We was taken to Africa.
Sierra Leone, Liberia.
I don't know. I'm just asking you. What do you mean by that, the reverse of it?
American Colonization Society sent out about 13,000 people over to West Africa.
From here?
From here. Mm-hmm.
Were they native?
It is called American Colonization Society.
Right. Was they Indians? Was they what? Who were they?
It depends on what you want to call it. I mean, keep in mind it was so-called black and so-called white people that were going over there. But it was only 13,000 of them. It wasn't a lot of them. And that's if they agreed. The majority of the people that went were priests and pastors.
Right, and so like when we like Cain that came out of South Carolina, he had Cherokee lineage. He was with the AME Church. He went over through the. You also had Curtis Austin, who went over as a Cherokee. He helped create the vowel syllabary language over there. It was Indians who were going over there. They were recruiting in Indian areas, Arkansas, things of this nature. The Mississippi, you had Choctaws go there from Mississippi. They built Mississippi in Liberia. So it was Indians that were going over.
So Dane, you don't agree? You don't agree with the transatlantic slave trade? Like transatlantic came over?
The transatlantic slave trade happened, but it didn't happen the way that we were told. That's why I told you it happened in reverse. I have a book out on this too. It was told in reverse. It's out right now.
I agree with Apostle.
So Dan Calloway, you believe?
Damn, Reggie, you just gonna talk over me?
Let me ask this question.
Go ahead, Reggie.
No, because you just put me in the background. I have another question.
Go ahead, Reggie.
So Dan Calloway, you do believe that 90%. You believe that 98% of African Americans are in fact Native Americans, and they are owed millions of dollars. You do. That is what you believe, right?
It's not about what I believe. Hello? It's about what I could actually prove.
Okay. All right. So now the 2% are Africans who came over on a slave trade with that analysis, right? So you believe that only 2% came over on the that you can prove. I'm just having a conversation.
You assuming you didn't know what the other 2% was about. You didn't know what the other 2% was about. But I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm about to tell you. I'm talking about our. One second. I'm talking about our people that were already here. We didn't come off of no slave ships. We were already here. I'm referring to those people. Not the ones that mix with foreigners. Whether if it be Central or South America or Africa and Europe. I'm not referring to none of those people. I'm talking about the indigenous people of this landmass. And by the way, that article was done in 2015, 2016. So I have put out more information than just that.
It's up.
Okay, no. So now we do know from the Marshall Trilogy that Native Americans, right? Or that
I'm not referring to Native Americans. That's where you're making a mistake.
Because
you're making a mistake right there. I'm not referring to Native Americans.
So you're not. No, I'm asking.
No, let me explain. Hold up a second. Let me explain. There's a difference between American Indians and Native Americans. Native Americans have nothing to do with being indigenous to this landmass. Have you ever heard of the political party called the Know Nothings? It's the third largest political party during the time period of the Federalists and the Whigs.
I can't talk to it right now.
It's the third largest political party during the time period of the Federalists and the Whigs. It was called the Native American Party. That's where that term came from. And that was nothing but people that were of Protestant religious belief that wanted to go against the Catholics at that time while trying to come over here. Keep in mind, the white people were leaving from enslavement. They were running from enslavement, aka transportation. You ever heard of the Bloody Code? The Bloody Code, UK. You ever heard of that? Oh, I mean, I'm not trying to go over your head with this information, but you got to understand what happened with their people first in order to understand what happened with our people.
No, I am. Yeah. Okay, so I'm more interested in our people. So so what I'm trying to ask you is that what I'm trying to ask is, okay, so the Native Americans is different than the American Indians. The Native Americans, you say, was already here, right? And
incorrect. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Anything, right?
That is not what I said.
Okay, so what? Okay, so the Native Americans, the American Indians are our people. So you say, right?
We don't know.
Yes.
You gotta do your genealogy.
No. Hold up. What you gotta understand? What's this brother's name? What's your name?
Genealogy, but
what's your name?
My name is Brother Reggie.
Reggie? It sounds like to me you only, you're not listening to what I just told you. You're listening to what you want to hear. What I'm trying to explain to you
I'm asking
is that
you question.
I'm about to, I understand, and I'm answering. Hold up a second. I'm answering. Wait a minute.
I want to
listen to me. Hold on, Reggie. One second. I'm explaining to you that there's a difference between the two. I also told you who the Native Americans are. You understand what I'm saying? But I already told you who the American Indians are with proof. And it's a few things that I mentioned that you're unfamiliar with. So if you don't like the way I answered your question, that's not my problem.
Relax and take notes. Take notes.
No, didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm listening. I'm just asking you some questions. So the group, there's a difference between American.
You trying to bypass what I just said?
American. No, I just said what you said, right? There's a difference between the two groups, right? So what I'm asking you is, how do you separate the group that you said was already here?
And I already told you
the groups of Africans.
But when I told you, you didn't like my answer. You didn't like the answer that I gave you because you're unfamiliar with certain things that I told you.
No, I didn't.
You told me that you were not familiar with the know-nothings.
I didn't like the answer.
1 second. You told me that you were not familiar with the know-nothings. So that means you have no idea of the Native American Party, which was the third largest political party during the time period of the Federalists and the Whigs. That's the time that I'm talking about. That moniker, Native American, was utilized. Prior to that, there were no Native Americans.
Fatality.
Okay,
American Indians have always been here. I didn't say that you said it, but apparently you're re-asking the same question, and I'm telling you what the answer is, and I'm telling you that you didn't like my answer because you're re-asking the same question. I gave you an answer.
No,
all right, let me see. Rob, you got any questions, brother?
My question is for Dane Calloway. So where are the black people who are writing in the 1700s and the 1800s with the narrative that we always been here and they are calling us Africans, and that we are not, and that we
black
are
people,
not, and that we are not from the diaspora of the slave trade? Where did we write that?
Black people didn't exist until the U.S. Census was started.
Okay, so you want to play word games? The people who wrote,
you said black.
Okay, the people who wrote for themselves, who look like me, and some may look like you, and Sarnetta, those people, the melanated people, those people, since you like that word, where are they writing that they are not people of African descent and that they did not come from the slave trade in the 17 and 1800s? Where's that at?
It's everywhere. We can pull that up with ease.
I'm talking to Dane. Let him pull it up with ease. Where are they at?
They everywhere.
Where did you understand the question, Dane? The question is, where are the people who are of African, who say they are of African descent, saying that they are being called something that they are not? They are originally Aboriginal, and that we are being called African. We did not come from the slave trade. Where are the black people who are fighting for?
You can say people if you want, Dane.
There's people out there right now that used to be claiming that they were African descent that went on ahead and said, you know what, I was taught a lie. I know better than that now. I actually found out what happened by conducting genealogy on my family. And they found out who their family were and disassociated themselves with Africa because they have nothing to do with it.
I can agree with you.
There's plenty of people out there.
I can agree with you in 2023. That's not the question, brother. The question is the people of the 1700s.
Nobody considered themselves. Nobody considered themselves Africans in the 1500s, 1600s.
I never said that, brother, and I didn't say that, and that is true. They did. I said I gave you a specific date. I said,
but I told the reason why I'm telling you that is because 1600s they considered themselves who they were, which was whatever tribe they were associated with, which still has nothing to do with Africa.
Right.
They didn't consider themselves Indians until the government came up with that terminology.
Right. So now when you get into the 1500s, you're dealing now with the people who brought the people of African descent to America, right? So when you deal with 1501,
allegedly,
and then, no, not allegedly, 1492 on the boat with Columbus is a person named Juan Portuguese. We have his documents and the actual primary of who he is. He is a person of African descent.
How do you know he's a person of African descent?
I'm not finished. I'm not done, bro. I'm not done. But this is the point. The point here is this.
So we skipping past that part, huh?
No, we're not skipping the past.
So how was he a person of African descent?
Listen, okay, we're going to go real slow for you because you're not understanding the question. The question is, where are the people, black people, melanated people?
Look, then he tried to go with a question after that.
Yo, you got to keep quiet. Hold on, bro.
Hold on, y'all. Let me answer the question.
Top cat.
Y'all got to let him get the question out. Let him get the question out, y'all.
Yo, bro, you gotta mute your mic, fam. Let me talk to this dude. Stop trying to jump in, bro. You can jump in after he answers the question.
Calm down, brother. Calm down, brother. You don't gotta yell.
From the 1700s, when black people first formed their organizations, what do they name it? African Union Society.
When you say black people, who are you referring to, bro?
I'm talking to the people who wrote for themselves, who are melanated, who look like me and you.
Did they call themselves black?
Yes. Richard Allen in 1789.
They called themselves black?
Yes. He actually.
Is that documented?
Yes, it's called The Message to the Black People of Philadelphia.
Did they call? That's not what I said. I said that they called themselves black.
Yes, you heard my question. You heard what I said. Richard Allen and Absalom Jones. Richard Allen and Absalom Jones wrote a decree called Message to the Black People of Philadelphia during the Yellow Fever because they was helping protect the people in that Pacific area. Who is the black people they talking to? Now
I'm asking, are these people black?
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you who they.
You said it was a message to black people. Did they consider themselves black people?
Yes, because that's who they're talking to, bro.
Just because that's who they talking to?
No.
So that's an assumption.
No, it's not an assumption. You're making up things. Again, we're going with the written record.
Actually, you are.
Okay. So, bro, I'm not done.
Hey, can I share my screen?
Can I finish going, bro? So now.
All right, hold on, Rob. Let Rob finish, and I'm gonna let you share your screen.
When we looking at the narrative of melanated people, we're dealing with our origin here in this country. When we look at the first organization we built, I'm gonna say it again. African Union Society, made by Newport Gardner and Abraham Casey, who spoke their language. They then begin to detail why they're doing this. They're telling you that they were taken from the African continent. They're telling you what the purpose of this. These individuals are in contact with the free blacks from New York, free blacks from Philadelphia, free blacks from Boston, and they're all talking about how to liberate and free black people. The question is, how come every time we look in the records from the ending of the slave trade from 1808 to 1807, that was a holiday all through the Black Americas, where we celebrated the end of this, from sermons going all down the line. How come not one black person said that we always been here and we are not of African descent? We originally the Aboriginal, Indian, or whatever name you want to name it. Where's that information?
Let them speak. Go ahead.
That terminology wasn't even being used back then, man. Nobody agreed to the. Hold up, let me finish. Hold up, brother. Calm down. Calm down.
You gotta let him finish.
Let me finish. That terminology wasn't even being used until the 1950s. And the terminology that I'm talking about amongst the people, not just the U.S. Census, the people, they didn't agree to that term black until the 1950s, 1960s. Prior to that, it was derogatory. Nobody agreed with anybody stating the term black because that was a derogatory statement. That's just like you calling somebody a nigga.
Okay, so we have a mutual aid society called the Black Men of Color in the 1790s in North Carolina.
I just said that now nobody's going to agree with that. Not everybody agreed with that. Just like not everybody agreed with the Black Panthers because of the black part.
Bro, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. Again, what we're talking about, you're making claims saying that people didn't call themselves black. It wasn't popular until the 1950s. You didn't want to try to play games.
And I could prove it.
You did. No, you can't. You never can. And then you want to run around.
Don't tell me I never can. You don't know what I have.
No, listen. Again. So here's the evidence, right?
Brother, calm down a little bit. Brother, have a general conversation with me. Calm down. You don't got to get all hype.
The ending of the slave trade from 1808, every black person in America is celebrating as a holiday. When we look at our first institutions being...
You calling them black. That don't mean that they black.
Like I said, they called the African. Now what?
Nah, they didn't. Okay.
Prove it.
All right, so we got to pull up each and everybody's census records to see if they consider themselves black.
Fam, listen, I'm going to tell you this one time again because you playing the people from...
This is hilarious. You getting too emotional too, bro.
The first organizations that people of African descent, you want to play game black, they called themselves something. It's called African. 1780, African Union Society. 1784, 1784.
So what you trying to tell me? I heard you. What you trying to tell me is that a society is considering everybody else black, but not the individuals, correct?
No, the individuals are.
The individuals consider themselves whatever that's on the U.S. Census because right now you cannot pull up a U.S. Census. Hold on. Right now you cannot pull up a U.S. Census record where it's going to reflect that these people called themselves Africans during that time period. In fact, the term, hold on. In fact, the term African was never utilized on any U.S. Census.
Okay,
stop playing.
So you want to go with what the white man says? I'm giving you what black.
Oh, and now I'm going with what the white man said.
Yes, that's what you're doing. Look,
are you serious, son? That these the people you gonna bring?
Listen, brother. Listen. Hold on. So,
son, this can't be real.
Yo, this can't be
real, son.
But I'm telling you what black people call themselves.
He said, now I'm gonna go off what the white man said.
I'm naming. That's what you're doing.
This can't be real.
Yes, you're talking about a census. I'm talking about you with black people.
A census is a government document indicating somebody's. Hold on. Hold on, brother. Calm down, brother. Wow. Calm down. A U.S. Census record is a document indicating of somebody's classification that the government asked them by way of enumerators coming to their house, asked them who they are, right? And that happened since 1790, correct? So if they did not say, hey, put down Africa or African as my classification, then that indicates that they are not Africans, correct?
No, you're incorrect.
But let's be real. How is that the white man's information when they sent the enumerators out to the houses?
No, because they're the ones who pick what the classifications are.
Sometimes, hold on, I agree with you on that. Sometimes certain classifications were picked by the enumerators. I agree with that.
Listen, this is a lot of dancing.
But there was no classification of race indicating that Africans were here at all. African, that term African was never used at all.
So what is 17?
Now you trying to cut me off.
Society? What is the African Union Society? What is that?
What about it, bro? It's nothing. It's the primary source is U.S. Census.
No,
right now, if you want to hold up, brother. That's the primary. Hold on. The primary source right now is the U.S. Census. You know why? Because the government had records indicating who was who and where they were. Now, if you're trying to state that some society that slapped the term African on it as more primary than the 1790 U.S. Census, then you got a problem.
Right. So now, when you look at that census, right, and we'll look at Frederick Douglass, we could even look at Martin.
I'm already telling you right now that I could prove that the U.S. Census never used Africa.
Can I
ever. Never used African.
Why are you scared to have a conversation? Listen, if I'm looking at...
That's not about being scared. I'm correcting you because right now you're wrong.
And I'm looking at Martin Delany. Martin Delany is on the census. He fought in the Civil War. His genealogy from himself, he tells you that his great grandma. I'm not done, bro. I'm not done, fam. His family is.
You're not ready, man.
No, you're not ready. All of these people that.
And Top Cat, this the guy you gonna be. This the guy right here.
Yo, Sonetta, what is you running here, bro?
He ain't ready.
So like, yo, if we looking at all of these people, from every abolitionist, all of them are on that census. All of them. From Richard Allen, we can find them on there. But when we look at their works, and we look at what they said for themselves, and we look at their origin story, they all say we are people of the African race. That's what the black people, the melanated people said for themselves. Don't play this census game. This is what the black people said for themselves.
But you can't debunk the census.
Bro, whatever.
You can't. It's a primary source. You can't debunk the census.
The melanated people is the primary source, and their writings debunk you because they're on the census, even though the census might not have African there and it has Negro there, they're calling themselves that. You ain't getting around that.
You assuming that they called themselves that.
No,
that's what it is. That's what it is.
We have their writing. So what
you riding off what a society's name is called, and you saying that the people. Hold up a second. And you saying that don't get disrespectful, cut me off, brother. I'm giving you a chance to get your stuff out and give me a chance to rebuttal. Right now, because you're not making any complete sense. You're not bringing any primary sources for what you're talking about. If you can't regurgitate any primary source that's older than the U.S. Census when it comes to identity, then you falling short.
Good. 1787. Hold on.
You falling short, brother.
Hold on. Check it out. Wait a minute. Hold on. Reggie, because I'm outside, right? Remember what he just said, right?
Man, you just a punching bag, man. Come on.
U.S. Census. Could you do me a favor and pull up?
You a punching bag, man.
Can you pull up 1787 Free-African Society preamble? It's right on PBS.
You want me to pull up what?
Yes. 1787 Free-African Society preamble. Remember what he said?
Yeah, but he
said, you ain't seeing no, let's stick to the people. I'm dealing with what the melanated people fed.
I want to deal with what they
All you got to do is calm down, brother, so we can have a conversation.
We are having a conversation.
Your voice is escalated by like 3 dBs right now. Bring it down a little bit, brother. Let's talk.
Yeah, 1787, pull it up, Free African Society preamble. Lastly, Dane Calloway, last time we had our conversation, you said that West Africa was uninhabited. You said that West Africa, hold on, I'm gonna get you right now. You said that West Africa was uninhabited until the French brought people there. You said that there is no records of people there.
I also
14th,
put out
13th, 12th, 11th, 12th, 8th. You said there was no people in West Africa.
Okay, wait. I also put a book out on this topic. It's called It Was Told in Reverse. And I also put my primary sources in the bibliography in the back of that book if you actually want to check my sources for real. If you do any reading, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
There's other source in there that states that too. It's a book called White America.
What do you want me to show? What do you want me to show?
I can't see. Go to the PBS. Go to the PBS. The PBS Free African Society preamble. And you put it there. But anyway, so Dane Calloway, so you're sticking to your statement that West Africa was uninhabited until the French got there.
Well, that's what
you told me that there's no.
I told you.
Pipe down, Top Cat.
I told you the time period. I told you when it was. I told you who stated that, and I also stated my sources. That's not me coming up with that. I'm reiterating the source.
Right. Now, what that say right there, Reggie?
So
it says,
You talking about a free African society that has nothing nothing to do with what I'm referring to. You trying to make it collaborate with the same thing, and it's not the same thing.
I know, bro.
That's a group of
The free African was the Free African Society in West Africa or the Americas?
No, it wasn't in Africa. Why would it be in Africa?
Right, because I'm talking about West Africa. You talking about America.
Wait.
Two separate sources, right?
Wait. So now we're talking about.
Hold on. You brought up the fact that I said that the parts of West Africa was not populated, right? Yeah. At a certain time period. They had to buy, I'm talking about America, the government had to buy that land from the French, correct? You talking about when I stated that?
You said that.
This has nothing to do with the Free African Society at all.
Hold on. No, this was a conversation.
You trying to collaborate two things that have nothing to do with each other.
No, brother. I just switched the conversation. I asked Reggie to pull something up. And I said, you also said that West Africa was uninhabited.
Right, because you're trying to collaborate two separate statements with each other. No, your Free African Society has nothing to do with what I was talking about.
Well, can I just chime in? I would like to chime in.
This is my last thing, brother. This is my last thing. So look,
hold up, man. This is
my last thing. You said that West Africa was uninhabited until the French got there. You said that you have no written documents from the 14th, 13th, 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th.
Hold up, brother.
No black people.
Hold up. Do you have my book? Do you have my book?
Bro, we talking right now, and this is what you said.
Hold up, because hold up, brother, calm down. Where are you getting that from?
From you.
Where are you saying that I stated this?
From you, and I have the video. You said it to me.
Okay, listen. The thing is that I have put out since maybe you talked to me, but since then, I put out every single one of my sources. Did you pull up any of my sources?
Bro, you never had a source. You never pulled it up.
Stop, brother. Stop. Do you see that book on the screen?
Bro,
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Calm down, man.
Bro,
I mean, come on. I shouldn't be talking to a child. I should be talking to an adult.
There is nothing
listen to me. The whole point, stop, brother. The whole point is that I did multiple things on that topic. I also put out my sources. And not one time have you brought up any of my sources.
Yo, bro,
you're just stating, hold on. You're just stating some statements right now with your own assumptions sprinkled in as to the reason why you think I said certain things. I told you what I said, and then you still switching it again. What I told you again, hold on. What I told you again was that the Americas did not own any lands in West Africa. They bought it from the French. That's what I told you. They had to buy those lands from the French because they did not own parts of it. I also told you who bought those lands. Now, meaning by purchase. I gave you the sources, and I also told you why the French stated when they got there it was not habited by a bunch of West Africans. I told you where it came from if we had a conversation, but now it's no excuse. It's inside of my book right now. It was told in reverse is the name of the book. If you want to combat my sources, go to the bibliography of my book and pull it up yourself. I'm just here to make you think.
Slow down. Yeah. Sub up, light up.